Okay, guys, welcome back to my channel. Rewind that. It's your girl, Miss K. If this is your first time coming across my channel, welcome. Please be sure to subscribe if you like the vibe and hit that notification bell so you know when I upload more. So you know when I upload more videos like this one. That came out wrong. Anyway, guys, so tonight we're gonna be discussing Raising Kanan season 4, episode number 5. Okay, that episode is called "The Nail That Sticks Up." For some reason, I can't help but to think that Famous is the nail that sticks up for some reason. I don't know. I might be wrong. I'm not really thinking about it that hard, but when I saw the episode and I saw the title, it started to make me think about that. I don't know if it was because uh you know, that arm, that hand sticking up. But also, when a nail sticks up, it's kind of like something that it's gonna come back around to bite you in a sense, even though a nail can't bite you. But hopefully you understand what I mean, guys. LaRusha, hi. AG, Tasha, Michelle, One Shot Gaming, Rashonda Greer, what's up, guys? So basically what I'm trying to say is that there are consequences for a nail sticking up. Somebody's gonna freaking step on the daggone thing. For instance, somebody's gonna get hurt by it. Like, instead of having a nail stick up, I remember plenty of times when there was like these thumbtacks they were facing up, right? Or should I say that the thumb part of it was on the floor and it was sticking up. I used to step on them all the time. Okay, all the freaking time. So yeah, it's gonna create some problems, especially after now when you see the preview for next week. They're ready to find out who did this because somebody got to pay. Even Lulu is ready to get back into action over this situation. Like, yeah, I'm gonna make an exception for Fame. I already knew that though, because it's in Lou, and that's what I was talking to Pretty Girl about. I said, when we were talking, it wasn't even about Famous, but it was about that dude B Rilla, and like B Rilla don't really know how Lou is. He just think he's some kind of record dude, this and that. And it's like, you don't know who he is. You need to calm down because it's in him, and when he ready to bring it out, he's gonna bring it out. So with this situation, you see with Famous, he loves Famous, and he's like, yeah, I'm gonna put in work for him. So somebody said, I think it was AG, she was saying that she hopes that it's not Marvin who deleted him. And I think that's what I mean when I say the nail that sticks up. Like, there's going to be some blowback with this death, and I don't see why people think Marvin did it. It's not clicking with me yet. It's just not. But I will say this: Marvin has been making some very, very poor, detrimental choices, which obviously I'm going to talk about later on. And so that's the only way I could understand how someone would think that it would be Marvin. I don't know. Because did he even know? I mean, I want to talk about this further with my with my panel tomorrow. Like, was he even aware of the situation? And maybe he was. Maybe I got to rewatch or something like that. But I just think that whoever killed Famous, I think it's gonna probably go deeper. That's all I could say, y'all. It was a very sad situation, especially at the end and just watching the flashbacks and things of that nature. But I think that them killing him off screen was probably best for us. It's not it's not in the character of Power to do so. That was weird to me. I didn't think they would have done that. Caught me off guard with that. But I rather it like that because I've always said whenever they do kill Famous, it's going to be one of the saddest deaths ever. That's what I always thought. So for them not to not kill him on screen was different. Somebody said, shout out to Eric Iverson. He was saying that the actor that plays Famous got arrested or something like that at the time of filming, so that's why he wasn't on screen. But whatever, I don't care. I didn't want to see it. But also the way they're doing things is they could still go back, you know what I'm saying, with the backstory and show his death, which I don't want to see regardless. So that was that, guys. But anyway, we're gonna get this episode started. What's up, Chanel? She says, and LSW and Marlon Easton, thank you for joining me. Says, hey, Miss K, I'm trying to figure out why people put in fame death. That's what I'm saying. Like that's what I'm saying. It's not clicking for me. It's just not. It's not clicking for me. It's not. I don't know. Right now, I'm at a loss. I don't know what to say, especially because I haven't rewatched like the last season. You know what I mean? So sometimes when I don't rewatch something and I don't remember freshly, I'm reluctant to really give my opinion about it. But from what I remember and what I do know, it makes no sense. It makes no sense. So what are we going to do? Right? LaRusha says, but I definitely want a backstory. I agree. Maybe not too much of a backstory. Just to show kind of like how they did with Unique, showing all that stuff, what he did, how he survived and everything like that. If we can get something like that with Famous without showing the situation, but who would put him under a mattress? You know what I'm saying? And do you think that Marvin would do that? Now, listen, Marvin we've seen him hide one body, I think, so far, which is the dude, like that dude from that building, right? He put him in the wall. Other than that, as far as I'm concerned, I don't remember Marvin hiding any of the bodies. Like, I don't remember seeing him do anything to any of the other bodies. And maybe they move them off screen, which is fine, and y'all can remind me if that's the case. But putting somebody under a mattress, that doesn't seem like Marvin's style. Like, if he's going to hide a body and get rid of a body, he's going to get rid of a body to make sure that it's not found. That's just, so it doesn't make sense to me, guys. I don't know. So you always knew that he was going to be deleted. I feel like I always knew he was going to be deleted. Yes, absolutely. Just not off screen. I always thought it was going to be something on screen. And like I said, one of the most touching and sad deaths in Power history, aside from Raina St. Patrick. You know what I'm saying? I always thought that, especially the way they would show Famous. I really liked him. And I think I talked about this last season, and there were some things with Famous. I'm like, he's so freaking cute. Like, he does things that get on your nerves, but he's super cute. Like, his whole character. And I'm like, they painted this picture of this character for you to love him. You know what I mean? At least me. And then when I said that, a lot of people were saying it as well. Like, yeah, like, I love Famous, so they definitely set it up for it to be a painful kill, which is why, at the end, we heard grown Kanan saying, like, I'm hurt and y'all should be hurt too. You know what I mean? Like, it just kind of like solidifies or confirms that that's exactly what they wanted. They wanted us to feel that kind of pain. But I thought that it was going to be a lot stronger, and I'm happy that it wasn't, because I'm like, I wasn't ready. I knew it was going to happen eventually, but I was never ready. I don't ever want to see that. And I'm glad. And one of my coworkers was saying that he couldn't sleep after he watched the episode, and I was glad that I didn't watch it fully. I watched half of it, so the next day I watched the rest of it, and I was very happy that I didn't freaking watch it before I went to sleep. It probably would have freaking came into my dreams or just messed with my head for a minute. You know what I mean? Let me see. Luca, what's up? Or Lucha. I think it's Lucha. Yeah. Her dude who played Famous got into some trouble, but Marvin also would have gave Fame a chance to leave like he did Crackhead Saint. Thank you for pointing that out. I think that's that's a great point. Great point. First of all, the store owner and his age running down a dark alleyway killed me. There's no way I would have run after a kid right. Like that was so stupid to me. And this kid is flying, okay? He out, and you running like you got a disability. Why are you still running after him? So all of that was so dumb. And when he got to that alleyway, I already knew what was gonna happen. But we'll get there, guys. We will get there. My computer's trying to start up, guys. Hold on, because we don't want that to happen. We're gonna reschedule this start, okay? Because it's trying to cut me off. All right. So, what's up, Detroit? Hey, Miss K. Question: is Kanan still dumb? Because it's looking like he was leveling up. I mean, Kanan always does dumb things. Kanan ultimately, I think what I say this all the time. I'm sorry, I'm stuttering, but I say this all the time, y'all. Kanan is a smart kid, but he does dumb things. He has brilliant ideas, but he does not have the wherewithal or the experience, right, to carry them out. That is my issue with Kanan. He does not know how to carry out these freaking plans of his that are brilliant, by the way, but he just needs someone with experience to help him to execute. Now, if him and his mom were good and he gave her some of these ideas, you talking about leveling up? Come on now. That would be leveling up. If she really heard her son and they really sat down and had some ideas, man, they would be doing some great things. And I hate to say it because we're talking about selling drugs, but that's what it is, And my thing is, like I said, Kanan is he has a hard time being a student, and that's what makes him dumb. Because you could be the most intelligent person in the world, but if you can't learn anything, you're dumb. That's that. Oh gosh, I'm glad Marvin didn't hit home with. I don't understand what you're saying. Great acting in this episode, absolutely. Makai played that part well. I felt his pain. Yes, absolutely. LaRusha said, I think Lou did it only because when someone asked him about Famous, he gave a vibe he might have did it. I don't think so. I don't think so. But you just never know at this point, but I just don't think so, guys. Peace and abundance. What's up, Blaze? It's Kane, everyone in the house. Hope everything is going smooth. Again, I had nothing to do with those spoilers. I know. Thank you. I appreciate it, And listen, I'm calm now, so I'm not gonna get at nobody. I'm just not. I'm just here to talk about the episode. I was so annoyed yesterday, so I'm good. On Friday nights, I could be probably more fired up, ready to get some things off my chest. But and on Sundays, people said that, like, I noticed that you're like a different person on Friday, midnight, and then on Sunday you mad calm. I'm like, yeah. But I'm good now, guys. So let's get into this episode, okay? So the episode starts off with a flashback of Famous and his family. It's showing us that his mother was in an abusive relationship with this man named Lewis. And, stepfather Lewis thinks that Famous took his money. So he's kicking and punching the crap out of this little boy, which is insane to me. Okay. The mom busts the man upside the head with a frying pan. I don't know why it didn't knock him the heck out, but he must have some type of steel plate up in his head. Fine. Or he turns around and says, you crazy, this and that. The mother says to Jessica, take him and, take him away, move your brother. Jessica puts Fame in his room, tells him to lock the door, get in the bed, whatever. Next thing you know, they're fleeing the house, right? And they got to go into a shelter. But Fame decides that he wants to go back in the house because he forgot his toy. So, going back in the house and forgetting the toy, you knew that was going to cause them to run into this dude again. All right. I don't know if he was asleep, still knocked. I don't know what, he wasn't knocked out in the first place because, she hit him with the pan and nothing happened. So he goes back into the house, and he finds Fame getting his toy. I think he hits him. The mom comes in and she defends him again and all this stuff. And then they make a run for it. And now they're at the shelter. The mother's heartbroken. She's like, we don't have anything, mija, blah, 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 blah. So here's my thing, guys. I'm not really sure why they showed all of this. And I hope that there is a reason, because it has to be more than just us trying to connect with Famous. We've already done that. We don't need to connect with him. We don't need a flashback to connect with him in this way, right? Unless it's going to do something to the story, unless it's going to make sense to the story and why he was deleted. Yeah, on the streets, it was saying that the streets was hearing that he was talking, unfortunately, right? So is there somebody that caught up with him that was like, nah, we don't like snitches, you know what I'm saying? Or, was it a random thing where somebody was just like, let's just get him because he's a snitch? Or was it that Fame had a plan to leave town, and just like with that doll, I'm sorry, not doll, with that action figure, he wanted to go back. And because he went back, it was at some type of detriment to him. I don't know. Like, here it is. I'm just trying to figure it out, because honestly, I'm not connecting with this backstory. All it's doing is showing that Fame had, some little, a little hard time growing up, where he's seeing his mom in an abusive relationship, and they were in a shelter and things of that nature. But it still didn't really resonate with me. And maybe it did for y'all, but it didn't resonate with me like that. It didn't make the situation sadder. So I don't know if that's what they were trying to do, but it didn't. At least not this flashback. The one with the dog probably, but not this one. I just was more so like, okay, what's the point? What's the point of this? What's the point of us seeing that Famous's mother was in a relationship with a man who was crazy? Did he run into him? And was he the one that killed him? Like, what? So that's where I'm at with this flashback. It's a scratching my head moment, to be honest with you. And since I'm sharing with you now, I'm just going to probably share it again, because I don't freaking know. All right. So Blaze says, I'm not buying into Famous's demise until there's legitimate concrete evidence. Even though his mother identified him, the body was decomposed at the point. Plus, let's not forget the unique fake out. And I am so with you, because when they said that they didn't identify him through his teeth and they're waiting on that, that was I don't want to say a red flag, but that was something that stuck out to me. And I was like, So it did make me wonder if it was really him. But when the mom saw him, she's over there screaming. And I don't want to talk about this yet, because, I am kind of going, normally, guys, if I'm going to be all over the place in the episode, I would tell you that, but I'm trying to go scene by scene right now. So I don't want to talk about things that are out of order right now. So, but if I see something, I'm going to try to address it really quickly. But yeah, and we were already talking about that, because sometimes when these type of things happen, it's hard not to get right into it and talk about it. And I don't have an issue with that, but I don't want to go too deep into it until I get to that scene. But yeah, when he said that about the teeth and all of that stuff, I was feeling like I wasn't buying it either, but when she did what she did, like when she was like horrified at seeing his body, it almost made it seem like she could recognize him at some point, just a little bit, you know what I mean? Because it's like, why are you screaming at this horrific sight? Yes, but also, can you tell that it's still your son? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, y'all. Kiki says, what's up? Rampage says, the whole flashback scenes were used to garner sympathy for Famous without filming with the head. I mean, yeah, I figured that, but it didn't work for me. That's all I'm saying. It didn't work for me. Because I don't have no connection with this little boy. I understand that this is Famous as a little boy, but I don't have any connection to him. Now, if they had been doing this for a little while and then had us, already connecting to this little boy, that would have been different. The young part of Kanan, that would have been different. But I'm sorry, not Kanan, Famous, that would have been different. But no, I'm already connected to Famous, the older kid, So they tried, and for many of you, they most likely succeeded. But to me, the part that's most hurtful is Famous. Period. The part that touched me the most was the flashback of Famous talking to his mother, like, "Ma, I really messed up." That's the one that touched me. These right here, these little flashbacks, they're not touching me. And I'm not trying to sound like I'm insensitive enough. They don't touch me though, because I don't know this kid. We know Jessica. We know the mother. I don't know him. Now, freaking Famous, when I saw that flashback of him, that really, that made me feel like, damn, you know what I mean? And then when they're playing the music. All right, I'm going to stop highlighting y'all stuff about Famous for a little while because I need to get on with this recap. I think the writers are toying with the audience. The flashbacks of a younger Famous were nicely done, but those scenes don't necessarily connect with Famous' current reality and troubles to me. Thank you. And that's what I'm trying to say. It didn't connect for me. It didn't land. And I'm sorry. I don't know if it's because of me, somebody that writes and stuff like that, but I just couldn't connect to it. That's just how it is. I just couldn't. You know what I mean? But his flashback was to show Famous always had a hard life until Kanan. We wanted to know what happened in his life. The fans always loved backstories. We needed to have a conclusion about his family. It still doesn't resonate though, but I get everything that you guys are saying, but it doesn't resonate is my point. Like it's just not good enough. I could understand if they were showing him, into music and doing this and that, and even with Kanan, like what? Like we just over here doing this, and he's known Kanan since he was in kindergarten, right? So why didn't they show all of that? That would have been better to me. All good though, guys. All good though. All right. So, now we get to the present day, guys, and we find out that Kanan, I'm sorry, every time I talk about Famous, I say Kanan. I'm so sorry. I've been doing this for a long time. We find out that Famous has been missing for 3 freaking months. Okay. And the mother is saying to Garcia, she's like, listen, when my son was missing for 5 days, I came up here and you told me to come back in 2 weeks or whatever. And I might be off with the numbers, but he kept he kept increasing the days. Like, oh shit, so I come back in 2 weeks, then you tell me to come back in a month. And then, now it's been 3 months. And so he's been freaking giving her the runaround, being very insensitive about this whole thing. And he's telling her, listen, your son, and good and daggone well, your son is not, he's not missing. He's a freaking fugitive as far as I'm concerned. And then, he was just being a jerk, and saying, listen, if you really, he got the nerve to throw Kanan in it now. If you're really that concerned and you think something happened to him, maybe you need to talk to Kanan about it, because anybody that gets involved with him, it's real trouble. She's like, no, they've been friends since they were, in kindergarten. You know what I'm saying? And he's just being very insensitive. And I think that probably would have been a good idea for her to talk to somebody else, because this guy is a freaking jerk. You know what I mean? Now, next we have Ocee, guys, who, as we talked about last week, a lot of you were pointing out that he is most likely getting information for Unique. Okay. And so he's out here questioning Kanan about Kanan skimming off the top from his mom, and of course, Kanan tells him that, he ain't got nothing to do with you. Stop worrying about it. You know what I'm saying? Just do what the heck I'm telling you to do, and everything's going to be okay. All right. So of course, I'm not sure if I wrote that down anywhere. So I'm just going to go ahead and, bypass all that. Fast forward to where he meets up with, Unique, and he tells Unique that, Rock is beefing with Quan, and, Kanan is skimming off the top. Okay. So yes, he's definitely giving some information. Listen, I was trying to like Ocee, because he's a little quirky little character and things of that nature, but he's playing a very dangerous game. So I won't be surprised if somebody puts a bullet in his little behind. Okay, no disrespect. All right, so now guys, we have Juke. All right, we need to clap it up for Juke, y'all, because the girl she got some acting chops. Okay, you understand me? Like literally showing how dangerous she could be, because I'm talking about on some psychopathic. Like, what? Did y'all see how she lied to that girl? Okay, acting super innocent. This chick Mara acting super innocent about the death of that man. Okay, saying she didn't have nothing to do with deleting him and all that stuff. She said, "Oh, I'm not trying to accuse you. This is Mara. I'm not trying to accuse you. It's just that, when you ask me for the address and all that, and then all of a sudden this happens and things of that nature." And she's like, "No, well, I asked you for the address because, just in case he did something to you, I wanted to know where to find you or whatever." Okay. Easy. Easy. To the point where you would think that she was there when Rock and Kanan went to go visit D Wiz's mom. That's how easy it was for her to lie. How dangerous it's showing. Okay? How dangerous it's showing how Juke is getting. Oh my gosh. And look, Dexter, you got me, right? Juke did her beat. Jukebox did her beat Rock impression. This is what I'm talking about. Like, that's what I'm saying. You would think that she was in the room when Rock went to go visit D Wiz's mom. Real chops, real acting chops. Unbelievable. Mm-mm-mm. Those are those crazy killers. Wow. Whew. Yeah, we get into the point where Laverne becomes overshadowed by Jukebox. Yeah, absolutely. Marlon, what's up? Asia Tone says, "I'm wondering if we'll get another flashback of Famous telling Kanan about Louis and Rock handling it." All right, guys. So absolutely, like, we're seeing a different side of Juke. I mean, she literally has no feelings, and she shows it in this scene right here. So we have her going to help patch up her father because she sees him, messing with his arm and everything. So she's going to patch him up, and he's concerned that they never talked about the situation. We never talked about what happened. You know what I'm saying? And he's like, "Are you good?" Because he knows he's been there before. He's been past his first kill. You know what I'm saying? But he wants to see where her mental is. Are you sleeping at night? This type of thing can mess with you. It could give you nightmares and, all those things. And she basically tells him that, she's fine. You know what I'm saying? And to be honest with you, my friend is happy that the dude is dead. And at the end of the day, it would have been you or him. So as far as I'm concerned, we did a good thing. Okay, we did a good thing. And so Marvin is like, "Yo, I'm starting to feel like, this army stuff probably made you feel comfortable with deleting a ninja." And she's like, "If I'm comfortable with deleting somebody, it's not because of the army." Okay, like, what you talking about, Marvin? Like, that was a straight reality check for Marvin. I understand the concern that he has for his daughter, and I love the fact that he's never wanted something like this for her. He's been pushing for her to go back to school. Like, "You so smart, Juke, this and that." You know what I mean? He don't want this for her. But it was a reality check for her to tell him, "Look, if I'm comfortable with it, it ain't because of the army. Let's just be clear. Like, I'm over here watching y'all, and I know what y'all do. Left and right, I know y'all killers. And y'all just move around like ain't nothing." So, like I said, reality check. All right. Next, guys, we have Kanan, who is taking the money, right? This extra money and whatever money, we're not just going to say extra money. He's taking his money that he is making to like a stash. He's stashing it in a storage depot. Okay. So the only thing that comes to my mind is eventually somebody, it's just a matter of time before someone in particularly, meaning Unique, that's gonna find him, follow him, and rob him. Okay, it's only a matter of time. because it was just like you could just see it. And if it doesn't happen, then I would be very, very surprised. But like it's just a matter of time. Like that stash is getting robbed. Okay. And if Ocee knows anything about it, then it's gonna get robbed sooner. And maybe Kanan doesn't have to be there when it happens. Because my thing is, if he's there when it happens, then Unique will probably try to put him down. So it's probably gonna happen when no one's there. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. So let me see what you guys are talking about before we move on. Of course, I love the interactions. Marvin handled Juke's first kill a lot better than Monet handled Drew's first kill. Right. Okay. What she said to Marvin was chilling. Right. From the St. Patrick's to the Tejadas to the Thomas family, not one person knows how to communicate. Famous was second after the funniest on the show, in my opinion. Yes. Hi, Stephen Harris. One Shot Gaming. What's up? Trauma and toxicity. Right. All right, guys. So next, guys, we have Marvin and Rock, and they go see David. Okay, who's a freaking clown, right? And he needs to stop clowning around with these kind of people. But, they ask where's Terry, what's going on, because the work is still on the loading docks. It's not in the freaking restaurants. Yeah, playing with the money, right? So David, trying to play like, oh, I don't know what's going on with Terry, this and that, until Marvin has to knock him around and, put the blicky, to his face and everything. And like, stop playing with our money. Like, this is not what you want to do. What is going on? And Rock is saying, listen, if you don't freaking stop and talk to your brother or whatever, like, y'all both going to be joining your mother sooner than you think. So now they're putting some fear into David's heart because he thinks everything's a freaking joke in a game. All right. And now Rock comes out. And by the way, I love this outfit because I love leopard print stuff. So this is just, yes, honey, round. So, now Rock, she's telling Marvin that he's going to have another talk with Terry because that freaking brother of his, like, he ain't worth nothing. We can't trust him because he ain't about nothing. You know what I mean? So Marvin tells Rock that, Terry is tougher than he seems or looks. Okay. And I don't think, threatening with this girl is going to do anything anymore. So Rock says, well, then you need to be tougher than him. Okay. You need to press hard, but not too hard, because you got to remember that, we're not going to be able to find anybody that can move the work like they can, so as soon as you done pressing him, we still got to work with these ninjas. So just be careful. And guys, as soon as she said that, I knew that it was going to go left. Like, I just knew it. And I was like, here we go. But we're going to talk about that when we get there. So now let's move on, guys, to the next scene. And so it was just really sad watching Miss Figueroa worrying about Famous. Like, she's like, I just want to know, like, you don't understand how hard it is not knowing, you know what I mean? Like, so Kanan tells her that he swears, like, I don't know what happened. We don't know. Everybody wants to know. We just don't know, Miss Fig. We don't know. She's like, please. And he's like, Miss Fig, who told you that, Garcia? Because he's lying to you. And we're going to find out, what happened. And if something happens to Famous, we going to get the people that did it. You know what I'm saying? So, once again, I talked about it prematurely, but I'm going to say this anyway, because now it's the time. I guess, with this episode, they were trying to pay homage, I would say, to Famous, because we get another flashback where he brings this raggedy dog home and his mother lets him keep it. Jessica's like, I know you, I told him you wasn't going to let him keep that raggedy dog, this and that. And the mom's like, no, he can keep it, this and that. I mean, I think too, with these type of scenes, it's probably also to have a lot of sympathy for the mom, because you could see how much she really loved Famous, like, this is her baby boy, and she was willing to just let him have whatever he wanted, it seemed like, so yeah, we're gonna move on, guys. Next, y'all, we got Unique, who he goes to see Phil, who tells him that out of love and respect for Teresa Baselli, he's not putting a bullet in his head. you know. And so here's how I feel about this. I feel like any other time, I believe that Unique would have been able to persuade Phil with his charisma and his smooth talk, right? This guy is a known conversationalist and things of that nature. He knows how to talk to another person, you know. But I think that it's safe to say, guys, that Unique has lost his touch due to his brain injury. You know what I mean? Like he's got revenge. He's got revenge on his mind. You know what I'm saying? Just vengeance. And that's not enticing to Phil. It's not something that's marketable. Like you over here trying to create some type of like common enemy type of situation or whatever. You know, Rock did this to me and Rock did that to Bastoli or whatever, you know, to Sal. And, you know, I'm sure like basically we could join forces over the common enemy. He don't care about that. You know what I'm saying? Phil does not care about this because, like he said, I'm not killing you. So this is really the best thing that I'm doing for you, is allowing you to come up in here and talk to me and being able to leave. You know what I'm saying? I'm keeping you breathing. That's all you about to get from this whole conversation right now. And like I said, normally I believe that Unique would have been able to persuade him, but it didn't work. You know, because he said, you come up here, you got a hard on for revenge and an effed up attitude. Like that's not normal. That's not normal for Unique. You know what I mean? Yeah, he know how to, you know, do a little word sparring with somebody like he did with Marquetti, but you know, eventually, because of how he speaks, you know, Stefano kind of like, I don't want to say fell in love with him, but he grew to respect him and everything. So, you know, I feel like also Unique was very bold just coming up in there, period. Like just going up in there by himself and then talking the way he did, you know? And I just kind of feel like also, instead of getting mad about the situation, about being rejected and all of that, I wish that he would have paid close attention to what Phil said about not hearing that the black broad, this is what he said, the black broad. I didn't hear that the black broad tried to kill you. You know, I wish that Unique would have paid more attention to that. You know what I'm saying? And he's like, how the F would you know about who tried to kill me and this and that? Like, how would you know what's going on in Southside? And it's like, yo, I ain't get it. This Phil is telling him, I didn't get to where I am by not keeping my ears to the street. You know what I'm saying? Like you dealing with a man that's this a whole organized crime type of situation. You think he's not gonna know what's going on? Especially when Rock is actually, she has dealings and partnership with somebody that's a part of the mob. Like, why would he know? You know what I mean? But instead, he wants to keep the heart on for revenge, like Phil says. And you going out there and you freaking beating up the daggone steering wheel. But what you need to be doing is relaxing and thinking about what the heck is going on, because you got this whole vendetta and it's wrong. It's totally wrong. You got it all backwards and you out here doing all of these stupid things. The person that got you is dead, and that is that. Like you could have just presented yourself and let Rock see you, and she probably been like, yeah, you know, put you on or whatever. Like you could have been partners with her. Like, I mean, it's just dumb to me. Let's see what y'all talking about. And then he said to him, though, he said, like, if you would have came here on some other stuff and then showed me that you got a whole plan and an army, not an army, but an organization, a team, you know, but you coming in here with nothing. A hard on and a bad attitude. I'm sorry. Yeah, hard on for revenge and a bad attitude. That's all you got. Like, what? Show me something. What else you got? What else you got for me? Shoot. And he showed some good restraint. Phil. He showed him some good restraint because Unique was talking and he was like, let me tell you something. First of all, you don't ask me questions. And you daggone sure don't talk to me like that unless you want to continue breathing. I love the fact that he could keep a cool head with this dude talking to him like that. I love that. You know, he's not somebody that's just going to be like, all right, yeah, let me delete this guy because my ego is hurt. He over here talking to me like he crazy, you know, because you know why? Because people like him, like Phil, They already know what they could do. They don't have to prove it. And what is it going to prove to delete Unique? What is it going to prove? Like, I don't got time. Just another freaking body for what? Get this nigga out of here. Okay? Because, yeah, just get him out of here. And I kept my word to Teresa, so I'm not going to touch him. But he talking, get him out of here. Okay? But anyway. That steering wheel should press chart. Right. Like the steering wheel is always getting, the steering wheel is in an abusive relationship with Unique, honestly, because it takes a beating like every few days, which is really sad. I feel bad for her. You know what I'm saying? Poor Christine. Now, actually, if it was Christine, she'd freaking mess around and run his behind over. All right. Let's see. Unique lost that charisma altogether. Yes, Blaze says the man has a point, though. Unique doesn't really have an actual plan for destabilizing Rock's empire. He's really just coming up with stuff on the fly and recruiting anybody and everybody he can. Right. Off of, like he said, revenge and a heart. Like, I'm sorry, a revenge and a heart on. A heart on for revenge. That's it. That's all there is. You can't entice me off of that. Because you over here trying to make your problem my problem. Why do I care? And that's the sad thing about it. That's how you know Unique is so messed up in the head, because he knows better. The Unique before that, he knows better than that. He knows that you got to come to the table with something, offering something. But all you want to do is talk about I'm the best to ever do it. I'm the MVP, this and that. How? How are you the MVP? You're by yourself. You creeping. Nobody knows you're even alive. You don't have I already said that. You by yourself. You don't have a crew. He has more anger towards Rock than he does Ronnie. Right. Which is very dumb to me. That's how you know it's deeper than the streets. He feels played because he fell for her. That's what I think. C Sharp 7512. How are you? Says Miss K, is there a possibility that Dead Body's not really famous? Yes, we talked about this like probably right before you came in. That at least myself and Blaze are thinking like it's a possibility that it's not, but we don't know. Keep in mind the body is severely decomposed, and did Garcia need to that they did not match dental records have right. So that's what we talked about. The dental records are still pending, but he says, but we're sure that it's famous. And see, here's my thing with Garcia. He was so gung-ho that famous was not a victim or missing. He was a fugitive. So for him to say, I'm sure that this is Famous's body is freaking weird, but also, and it's not to say he's trying to protect Famous or anything like that, but it's like you went from one extreme to the next, bro, without even checking for sure. Because here, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because if I'm a cop and I'm saying that, I'm sure, I'm certain that your son is not missing, okay, because he's a fugitive, then guess what? I must probably be holding on to that until I get them dental records. That's how I'm gonna come with it, because I need proof that what I was saying all along is no longer true. So for him to be so sure now that this is Famous's body, it doesn't make sense, because you was going hard this whole time. Now all of a sudden you want to bring this lady down here, this and that, and say all that. Like, just some stuff just be dumb. What are you gonna do? Ronnie had Unique seeing stars and flying Tweety birds, but somehow it's all Rock's fault. Right. Like, it's stupid. But here's the thing, Blaze, right? He had that thought in his mind, like, I don't need to find out who tried to kill me. I already know who it is. It was my freaking brother. He allowed this freaking idiot early to switch that whole train of thought, which I don't get. I really don't. Oh, Lord. C Sharp says, is his ID on a decomposed body enough proof, or can there be a plot twist? There could be. There really could be a plot twist. It really could. Kanan is definitely going to slip up and tell the little person where the spot is. Ocee, that's who he is. Ocee. I don't know about. I don't know about slipping up. I will try to say that I think Kanan is smarter than that. He's probably not as smart when it comes to like a chick, probably, but with Ocee, I don't think he would slip up. But I do think that somebody's gonna follow him. I do think that. And maybe, do you think he would trust Ocee enough to let him know where the spot is? I don't know. I don't think so, but somebody's gonna follow him, I think. Why did Garcia have to wait 3 months? Yeah, no clue. The doctors did say in the season premiere that he won't be the same person he once was prior to his head injuries. And man was the doctor writing. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Not the same at all. So all these things are expected, you know what I'm saying? It's definitely expected. It's hard to watch, you know what I'm saying? Like they say, like it's like watching a freaking train wreck. It's hard to watch because this is my guy right here, y'all. Y'all know that this is my dude. Okay? And he walking around looking like this, he don't got no swag. He first of all, he definitely still got swag. Definitely still sexy as heck. But he don't dress the way he used to, nothing like that. But it looks like, according to the preview for next episode, he gonna have his drip on, which is nice to see. All right, so we're gonna move on, guys. Now, Mama Joyce falls. Okay, guys, she takes a fall, and she calls Kanan, and Juke is there as well because they got this call while they were with Miss Fig. Amina Cena, what's up, girl? He does look like he's back next episode. Talking about Unique. Okay, so guys, so they're gonna call the ambulance, and you got Miss Joyce over there talking about something. I ain't paying for that, this and that, and it's like, girl, ain't nobody asked you to pay for this. Like, stop with all of that. Like, I'm don't call no ambulance because nobody gonna pay for it, but who gonna pay for that? Me. You know daggone well that if something goes on, for Kanan could do, like, if you don't believe that your kids are gonna pay for it, then Kanan gonna pay for it. Stop. Nobody gives a crap. Shut up with all of that. Like, her little woe is me act is getting on my daggone nerves. I'm just gonna say that. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, One Shot Gamer said Black Hoodie Unique is fire though. Don't get it twisted. Okay. All right. He be out here making some crazy choices, but my man still got it. So anywho, guys, right? So, they call the ambulance, they get to the hospital, and Lou gets to the hospital as well because he over there having a little flirting session, which I'll talk about in a minute, just very briefly, having a flirting session with Imani and everything. And they about to go out for whatever, but he gets the beep and he's like, I gotta go, it's my mom. So he goes very quickly, which I definitely loved and respect that about him. But when he gets there, he makes it clear. Like, he like, give me the rundown, tell me what's going on with my mother, this and that. They let him know that she's gonna need round the clock care. And he like, well, who the heck gonna do that? Not me. You know what I'm saying? If I freaking take care of her, I be drinking faster than you know. So he's like, it's definitely not going to be me. I'm not about to be her caretaker, okay? But let me go get this credit for being here, okay? Where's she at? That was funny, and I totally understand it. And I think, honestly, that was a very smart decision because he already knows his mother will drive him to freaking drink again. She's a whole trigger, okay? A whole trigger. And I'm not about to put myself in that situation again. All right. I also love the fact that when Imani was like, you want to go out for drinks? He said, I don't drink. So I was loving all of that. All right. Now we also see that Marvin is at the hospital. I guess this must have been some time afterwards because and I think I'm kind of going a little bit backwards, but just stick with me, guys. We see that Marvin is at the hospital, and Miss Joyce, I said Mama Joyce, she asked him to pretty much put her out of his misery. She asked him to put her out of her misery. And he felt really bad. Of course, you don't want to see your mother like that. But so, of course, he's contemplating it, but, she's also manipulating him. And I don't like how whenever she gets with one of these guys, like before when she was with Kanan, she said something about Rock to Kanan. And then when she's with Marvin, she says, "You're not weak, Marvin, this and that. Like, your sister got you thinking that you're weak, blah blah blah." He like, "I ain't never thought that I was." You know what I mean? Like, what did you talk about? Like, that's the thing that I always say about Marvin. Marvin knows his place, and he what am I trying to say? He's accepted it. It's not like he's being a weak-minded brother. He's accepted his place. And this is not something that I'm just over here guessing. Like, he's made it clear through dialogue. Like, I accept my position because you better at this than me. But don't get it twisted. I'm still your big brother, and I used to take care of y'all. Right? This is what they talked about in the first season. So she over here talking about some, oh, you not weak like your sisters say, or try to treat you with this, and it's like, what he looking at, like, what is you, okay, ma? All right, what are you talking about? You know what I mean? And so we'll get back to how he's going to decide on what to do, or how he's going to carry out this decision. But I just thought that it was very interesting how she tried to freaking manipulate him. You know what I mean? And it was just like, I mean, if you want me to take you out, you really don't have to say all of that other stuff, because at the end of the day, we do see that Marvin is his own man. You know what I mean? Because we see him doing stupid stuff all the time. But anyway, guys, let me see what Blaze is talking about. Steven says, Team Uncle Marvin Thomas. Absolutely. Dexter Cumberbatch says, I think she'll ask Kanan next. Joyce be manipulating for real. She sure does. Mama Joyce continues to show us exactly why her own children don't necessarily care for her. Can we talk about it? She's always been selfish and never did things in the best interest of her children. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So not only did the father delete himself, right, and they have to live with that, now you want Marvin to live with the fact that he helped kill you. I mean, let's just keep it real what it is, right? You want your son to euthanize you. It's not an easy decision. They can make you comfortable, right? They could put you on hospice and you can pass as comfortably as possible. Why do you have to leave that with him? Because you are feeling a certain type of way. You've never done anything for them. You haven't been there for them. You ain't done nothing but freaking make them feel like trash. And this is what you want to leave them with? I can't with this lady. I freaking can't. I really, really can't. So, real quick, guys. Oh my gosh. Dexter, this is what I've been saying. Screw all of them other, and I know some of y'all gonna be like, Miss K, you're bugging, but no, for me, the Power Origins, I don't think they should have any if they're not gonna do a Thomas family prequel. Like, I just don't think they need to. Because how could you not? I feel like they're the most interesting family in the Power universe. Like, I really do. That's why when they was talking about the backstory, even though they weren't showing us anything, but they were just talking about it, and Kanan was doing his little interview, oh my gosh, I was loving every moment. So one shot say she should have asked Rock. Rock would have done that with an ear-to-ear smile. I don't think so. I really don't think so. But I get what you mean, but I don't think so. No wonder Papa Thomas took his life. Yeah, I guess he sure wasn't happy. So guys, I like this scene right here when, and I just want to talk about this real quick. When Imani was talking about her schooling, you know what I'm saying? She got her little Ivy League college background, Brown University in RISD, School of Design or whatever the heck she's saying. She like, what about you? Where you go? Whatever. I loved his response because the fact that he kept it gangster was like, girl, please, without saying girl, please, I ain't go to no daggone school, girl. Like, what? He said, I went to RISD too, Rikers Island School of Drama. I'm like, yes, okay. With no shame. Like, yeah, you got this college degree and all of this stuff, and you here, that's what's up. But I'm here too. And I just didn't take the same road as you. So I actually like that a lot because it shows that, everybody doesn't have to have this, elaborate college degree and background and education and all of that stuff to be successful. So I was like, yeah, I was feeling that. This might be foul, but I won't miss the mom when she's gone. Me neither. Marlon Easton says, I got a bad feeling about Imani. Listen, when they was getting it in and doing all that other stuff, and she's asking him about Jessica, and I was feeling uneasy about it as well. And I was just like, I just don't think anything good is gonna come out of this. I hope so, but there was just something that was telling me, I don't know. And not to say that she necessarily has to be something bad or a plant or whatever, but I just don't have a good feeling about her right now. But you never know. We'll see. Right? Lou went to We Straight Killers University. Right. Hey, Daria. Imani got some cheeks, though. Here we go. Okay, y'all. Let's move on. So we've been up in here for almost an hour, and we still got some more things to talk about. So I guess we're going to be in here for a little longer. It's all good. So guys, now we have Quan, right? Rocco's meet up with Quan, and she's short according to the new price, increase. Okay. And he's telling her that she's short. And what you think I didn't know? I wasn't going to notice or nothing like that. This was not the price that we agreed upon. You're paying me basically the old price. And she said, I ain't agreed to itch. You know what I mean? And I love how she just stood her ground on him, because it's like, what are you doing? And then she said, you know what? I want to know what your problem is. Like, did I do anything to you? You know what I'm saying? Because you're moving funny, basically. And to be honest, I don't care either way, but I still want to know, which I respect, because I would want to know too. Like, not necessarily caring as much, but I still need to know why the heck you acting like this, because it's just out of the freaking blue, right? So he tells her that she lacks honor. He brings up Unique and everything, how he was a man of his word, this and that. He liked that. Unique wasn't even cold in the ground yet, and you basically was moving in on the territory. He don't like all that. And she tells him that he talking about all of this stuff about honor and being a man of your word and blah, 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 but you ain't keep your word to me, basically up in the price without saying anything, or just not keeping your word about, the agreement at hand. And she like, you over here looking for a man with honor, but I'm just looking for a freaking man. You know what I'm saying? Because you want some B-ish, right? And that ain't you, right? Basically, what she's saying is the man that I'm looking for, it's not you. All right? So I was loving the fact that she was saying what she was saying. I really do. So, they sever their ties and everything, guys. And, on the way out, I'm assuming that she gets the text that her mom, so I'm kind of like going backwards a little bit, but I'm assuming that she got the text, not the text, I'm saying text. She got the page about her mother. And I guess she must have freaking ignored it, because she didn't show up to the hospital. And when Lou asked about her, he was like, oh, there's Marvin and Rock coming. It was like, Marvin on the way, Rock ain't hit us back. So I guess she was like, screw this, I don't give a daggone. So she must have just went straight to Hafiz after that. Now, before I talk about her and the scene with Hafiz, I want to mention that Quan is over here eating an orange, guys. I mean, he's not eating one, but he's going to eat the orange, right? And so I've come to learn a little something that I forgot to look it up so I could be totally sure, but I'm pretty sure that one of y'all can point it out to me, that oranges are supposed to signify death, right? And so the fact that he has an orange in his face right now, I think that we could probably safely assume that he's on the chopping block. He's going to die this season, right? And this is possibly a foreshadowing, because I know that the one thing about this whole thing about signifying death with oranges is from like The Godfather and stuff like that. So that's one thing that I learned. Like I said, I might not have it all the way correct, but like I said, if y'all know everything that needs to be known about it, just say it, so I can talk about it or whatever. But yeah, I'm feeling that it's definitely a foreshadowing moment for him. He's gonna die. Now, I'm not gonna say that he's gonna die next freaking week, but he's definitely dying. Okay, they done severed the ties, and he's eating the orange. Dexter. So yeah, Dexter is basically saying that it's a symbol of death in the Godfather movie. Yeah, that's where it comes from. So, and I've noticed that in the Power universe, they like to use the oranges as well. Okay, I forgot who else they used it with, but yeah. Anyway, so let's go over to this one here. Now, I don't think I have it. Hold on. Yeah, I don't have it, y'all. So meanwhile, guys, like I said, Roxy reaches out to Hafiz after he told her that you need to wait for me to reach out to you before you reach out to me. Like, I thought I made that clear. And she's like, I know, but listen, you and I are not on the same timeline. Like, we need to make this happen sooner than freaking later. Okay. Like, her business is out here hurting. All right. And so Rock tells him, Hafiz tells Rock that, her offer is compelling, but he has to meet her partners before they proceed, because, he's concerned about the territorial, basically the territorial concerns. That's his thing. He's like, listen, somebody, what did he say, an Afghan or something? Did he say? He said, nobody knows better than us what type of wars can come from, a beef over territory. Like, nobody knows that better than us. So before I get into business with you, I need to make sure that you're not you're not about to be invading on somebody else's territory, or, and like he wants to make sure that it's going to be successful. You can't blame him for that. He's not asking for much. He's not asking for something that doesn't make sense. He's being very smart. Okay. Right. Thank you. The bloodiest wars are for over territory. Thank you. All right. So yeah. So, she tells him, look, I understand I could set up a meeting and everything, but you need to understand that this is my deal, right? I don't want nobody going around me or nothing like that, because for some reason, when these Italians talk, people start getting all mesmerized or whatever, stuff like that. Whatever she said, she didn't say that word, but basically that's what she's saying. You get all caught up in what the heck they talking about. And I'm telling you that this is my deal. And he said, you talk like somebody that got betrayed. She like, yeah, I have been. So anyway, y'all, let's move on. So next, y'all, we got Pernessa, who she comes to see Rock and ask her if she's been leaving money in her mailbox. And see, the thing about this that I gotta say with Pernessa is that she's very bold, because it's like, girl, you be trying to come at, not really press Rock, but you be trying to confront her with stuff. And, remember that time when she could have sworn up and down, she came to the house, I think, with the blicky, and she's like, I know you killed Neek, this and that, da-da-da. And it's like, girl, you not about that life. Just go have a seat. You know what I mean? And I just kind of feel like Rock, she be mad merciful with her, showing her hella mercy. Like, girl, please just get the heck out of here. All right. Be happy that somebody putting money in your mailbox, because, girl, if I really wanted to, I will destroy you. You over here complaining about something that's really nothing to complain about. Like, because she like, and it keeps happening. It's been going on for months or whatever she said. And I'm like, that's what Rock said. The last time I heard, that was nothing to complain about. Getting money, nothing to complain about. So I'm just like, yeah, Rock just be looking at her like, all right, girl, like I got way bigger fish to fry. So please get the heck out of my face. It's kind of like the same type of response that Phil had with Unique. Like, I could really hurt you, but I'm not going to, because you're a small fry. Like, why would I waste my time? I just don't need to waste my time on you. That's that. All right. Panessa comes off slow. Panessa better stop rolling on right. Like, stop before she lose her patience, because she really been merciful for real. That's Rock's first clue that Unique is alive. And she ain't taking it. Everybody got a distraction going on to where they're not really thinking clearly, But at the same time, Rock, the way she thinking too, like she said, was maybe, it's because Unique has all these friends or something like that. And did you ever think that maybe there's somebody that wants to do right by him, by taking care of you, or what, you know what I mean? So her initial response, I totally understand it. Now, if Rock didn't have all these other things going on, I could see her going deeper and trying to really think about that. Like, the heck going on? You know what I mean? But she's distracted by all of these things. So she's not going to think about that. She's not going to think about certain clues that's like right in front of her. Oh my gosh, y'all. I got ice in here. I want to eat it so bad. But sorry. I don't like to crunch in folks' ears and nothing like that. So hold on, folks, before we move on. Where am I at? Showing her mercy. Where am I at? All right. So now, guys, we're gonna go to Marvin We're gonna go to Marvin, guys. And he is trying to press Terry, and he's just talking to him. He right now he's not really putting the press on a little too much, right? He's really not doing it at all, actually. But Terry out here talking crazy, y'all. He's talking a little too heavy for Marvin. And, Marvin had to put him down. He like, I don't care about what you saying. I'd rather get a divorce than death and all of this. And Marvin is like, yes, because you choosing divorce because you ain't never freaking been which was a stupid thing to say. Like, but it would have been better for him to make him suffer, or to threaten him with sufferation than just deleting him. You know what I mean? Like, he didn't do a good job with this press at all. Like, not at all. I don't know, guys. Maybe she shouldn't have sent Marvin. I know right now he's all she has, but he's been on one, okay? But Terry was on one. All right? He was on one. And I was like, Terry, you need to calm the heck down, because you are saying some real stupid stuff. And he's like, Marvin was saying you need to be careful and all that. Terry, like, I say what I want to say, and the cops will be he said the cops might want to know about you and your sister, this and that. Like, he was really talking. I was like, oh my freaking gosh. Man, oh man, listen, he should have shot Terry in his kneecap. All right. Got him out of there. Freaking stashed him somewhere, safely, and kept him like that. You gonna do what I'm telling you to do, or else it's gonna be more of this where that came from. I'm gonna be torturing you or something. Like, why did he have to do that? Marvin just straight lit him up and then shot him some more while he was down there, as if he wasn't dead enough. And it was just like, Marvin, what are you doing? Like, he killed him like he was angry. He was making him mad though. He really was. But it was like, dang, you over here treating him like it's some type of passionate kill or something like that. Ugh. And you know, Rock said to him, we need him. You cannot press too hard. We need him. So this is gonna piss Rock off. Rock already had to show this dude Hafiz that she got a team. She got, introduced to the partners, all of this stuff, and this is what he does. So now, who the heck are we gonna find that can move the weight like this? So he's just out here creating more problems and more problems, and it was just definitely the wrong move. Very detrimental, like I said in the beginning of this live. Very detrimental. All right, y'all. Hold on one second, folks. I gotta look at this text real quick. Oh, hold on, y'all. Sorry about that. I might have to end this live soon. Sorry, y'all. I'm so sorry. Let me try to hurry up. So guys, right? We know this is terrible. Marvin got a temper this season. Anytime you say something he don't like, he get trigger happy. Right? What's up, Jamari? For real. LSW, JB Gaming, what's up? Marvin is not making the right choices lately. No, and it's almost like we just kind of see that it's going to come back to bite him in the freaking behind. And I'm just hoping that it's not gonna get him killed. That's my biggest thing. All right, guys. So next, a kid steals from the store. And he's running from the freaking store owner who can't run like we talked about, running like he got a disability. Should have just freaking stopped and let the kid steal. And then just don't let him come back in your store again, right? But this is a whole part of the story. This is how they find the kid goes into the alleyway. And after being chased, after being chased by the store owner, the kid runs into the alleyway and they see a hand under the mattress, and the body belongs to Famous. We already been talking about this, so I'm not going to say nothing else anymore about it. But yeah. So that's that. Now, guys, we have Marvin. What's up, J Mac? We have Marvin, guys, who tries to honor his mother's request, but he can't do it. So, of course, she flips it on him, right? Remember all that manipulation? You're strong, Marvin. You're this, you're that. Baby, I can't take this, and da-da-da-da-da, right? So now, of course, she flips it on him, and now she's like, Marvin, sorry. Marvin, sorry. Like, treating him like trash. Of course, that's what she's doing, right? Of course. And here is my thing too. Marvin has been struggling so much with his anger. I was like, please, Marvin, walk the heck away. Because at this point, I was afraid that he was going to delete his mother and he was going to put a freaking pillow over her head. Forget about, shooting her up with whatever that drug was. I was feeling like he was going to freaking put the pillow over her head. So I'm glad that he walked the heck away. Okay. Because at the end of the day too, you know what? Yes, he has anger issues, but I'm pretty sure this is something that he was used to. Like, he probably was like, yeah, there she go. There she go. So guys, next we have Unique, who reveals himself to Quan. And so at this point, of course we can assume that they're going to form an allegiance and everything. And that's why we see in the next episode, he talking about some I'm back or whatever, because all Quan has to do is front Unique some money, especially out of his disdain for Rock, right? Like, she really did something to him. She didn't do nothing to this man, but Quan doesn't like her, so it's all good. All right. Now, next, guys, we have someone is calling Kanan to tell him about Famous. And he's like, what? Like, who told you? I was wondering who called him. And I'm like, who is this on the phone? Is it Juke? Who called? So it's neither here nor there. But it was really sad, guys. And I like how grown Kanan basically had no words. Normally, like he said, what you want me to say. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't got no words of wisdom for you. I ain't got none of that. You know what I'm saying? I'm sad. It hurts and it's gonna stay hurting, and that's it. It's nothing else. And I like how they played that in there. You know what I mean? Because we always get these little less kind of like life lessons in the game, from grown Kanan from the beginning of the episode into the end of the episode as well. But when it came to this situation, he's like, I ain't got nothing to say. Leave me alone. You know what I mean? So Kanan cried harder than when D-Wiz got off. Right. Well, he was closer to him. Imagine your mom is dying. Her last words are, "You are sorry." Yeah, very sad. That's what I'm saying. Just like she just gives them more things to have to live with that are very hurtful, and that sucks. All right. Thank you for the super sticker, DeMarcus. I really appreciate it. Jessica will blame Lulu for the death of Famous. We shall see, y'all. But listen, guys, I got to get out of here because I got like a text where I need to be responding and stuff like that. And so I might have to run out. So I was going to try to stick it out and talk and just listen, so I do apologize for that. That's what happens sometimes when we do lives. But Gemini Don, what's up? Did I say hi to you? I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm leaving. I've been in here for an hour and 15 minutes. I was really gonna try to rock it out with you guys, but like I said, I gotta go. But tomorrow we're back 8:05. So please, we're gonna talk more with the girls. Okay. So make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Keep that notification bell turned on so you know when to upload more videos like this one. Until next time, take care and be blessed, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.